How do you plan the perfect heist? And how do you make that heist enjoyable to watch? Heist stories as a genre are a ton of fun, but what are the pieces you need to make a great one? I'm AJ, a filmmaker and storyteller, and today we are going to break down how to tell the perfect heist story by analyzing the Aldhani vault heist from season 1 of the show Andor. Since we'll be going into some detail, be warned that there will be spoilers for the first 6 episodes of this first season of the show. After escaping from the law on Ferrix, Cassian Andor finds himself a part of a small team of rebels planning to rob an Imperial payroll vault. They've been planning this heist for months and are not happy with him joining them last minute, but reluctantly agree to bring him into their plan. They give him the details of their plot and explain how they'll get in, get the money, and escape. Now, the key to any successful heist story is setup. You introduce the team and explain the plan, so that the audience knows why they'll be doing what they're doing and who all these characters are. You want a good mix of different personalities and skills to make the team members unique, so that the audience will both know who each of them is and will also, hopefully, care about them. Andor does this differently from many heist stories, where most stories gather the team on screen, giving you a chance to learn about them as they're assembled. In Andor, Cassian comes in after the team has already been together for months. We as the audience learn about them as he interacts with each member in the course of planning the heist. Either way you choose to do it, however, you want your characters to be distinct and memorable to the audience, at least for the most part. If your team is large enough, you will have to choose which characters get the most screen time and development. But even the less developed characters should have something to set them apart and keep them distinctive in the audience's mind. The rebels' plan is to sneak into the Imperial base, break into the payroll vault, load the money onto a ship, and then fly out, using the Eye of Aldhani as cover. With the natural phenomenon going on in the sky, the majority of the guards will be distracted and unprepared. The rebels also have a man on the inside, Lieutenant Gorn, and he will do his part to make sure that the vault is undermanned and the guards are out of the way. Just as you want to set up the characters on your heist team, you also want to set up what the plan is. This does two things for the audience. Creates an expectation of what should be happening as events unfold, and also allows them to understand what is going wrong as complications arise. And complications will arise. The fun of a heist story comes from two elements: characters and complications. Knowing who the characters are makes their interpersonal conflicts and drama engaging, and knowing how the plan is supposed to go creates tension as complications arise and things go wrong. If you are interested specifically in how to create tension in a story, I do have a separate video essay about how to do that here. So, the team prepares for the heist, and as the time draws nearer, their distrust and dislike of one another, and especially of Cassian, grows and grows. Eventually, they resign themselves to setting aside their personal feelings to accomplish the mission, and the heist begins. As Cassian, Terramin, Nemec, and Skeen march up to the base in their uniform disguises, Vel and Cinta cross the lake to disable the communication station. With the Imperial officers distracted by the Aldhani natives and the coming festivities, the disguised rebels escort them right into the base and then capture them. With the rebels holding his wife and son hostage, the Commandant agrees to accompany the rebels to the vault and then open it for them. The rebels reach the vault, blow open access to the money inside, and then force the soldiers to load the ship at gunpoint. However, although all has been going pretty smoothly up until this point, things begin to go wrong now. The loading is taking longer than anticipated, which gives a communications officer time to overhear the rebels' comm chatter. He realizes that something is going wrong, and leads armed guards down to the vault. Now this is the great tipping point in a heist story. The plan is beginning to unravel, so how will the characters adapt and manage to still pull it off? Who or what will be sacrificed to accomplish the goal? Every heist story is different. Some may make the complications seem terrible, then reveal that they were actually part of the plan all along. Others may shift the plan to overcome these new problems, leading to unintended consequences. Andor takes the second approach, as the rebels fail to bluff the arriving guards and instead open fire on them. As the gunfight ensues, team members begin to fall. First to go is Lieutenant Gorn, the inside man. Then, as Skeen fails to give Terramin enough covering fire, he too is hit. The remaining rebels launch the ship, but its abrupt acceleration sends a cart crashing into Nemec, paralyzing his lower body and wounding him terribly. With TIE fighters from the nearby airbase hot on their tail, the rebels barely manage to fly through the meteors of the Eye and make it off the planet. As they fly off, Cinta sneaks out of the base and makes good her own escape. So, your team has managed to overcome the obstacles and pull off the heist. What now? How will they deal with the fallout of their actions? Different stories will handle this in varying ways. If you've told all the story that you wanted to tell, all you need to do is tie up a few loose ends, and then have everyone walk away to the strains of Clair de Lune. But if you have more story to tell, you'll want to spend a little more time wrapping up those loose ends. In this story, this is only the halfway point in the season, so we need a little more info to get the characters to where they need to be after the heist. Vel, Skeen, and Cassian take Nemec to a doctor. But while the doctor's working on him, Skeen suggests that he and Cassian backstab the others and split the money between the two of them.
Between the two of us, we could be the winners here.
Cassian refuses and shoots him, then explains his betrayal to a disbelieving Vel. With Nemec dead on the doctor's table, his wounds too severe to be remedied, Cassian takes the doctor's ship and leaves. He may feel bad about how the heist ended, but he did his part and is ready to get out. Vel is left alone. Mission accomplished, but almost all her comrades dead. This leaves a bittersweet taste in our mouths as the audience. We feel sad to have lost characters that we liked, but glad that the heist succeeded and a noticeable blow was finally struck against the Empire. Endings are tricky, but choose the tone you want to go for in your story and then end with something that reflects that. Whether fun and lighthearted, dark and serious, or gritty and realistic, you want your ending to be a good encapsulation of the story your audience has just watched. So remember, as you plan out your heist story, setup is key. Assemble a team of interesting characters, plan out the heist, and then throw in complications to force them to adapt. Wrap up any loose ends, and finish in a way that fits your story's tone. I'm AJ, and I hope you found this lesson about storytelling from Andor interesting. What is your favorite heist story in film or television? Have you learned other lessons about storytelling from Andor? Let me know down in the comments below. And like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Now, go out there and plan a heist.